All right. Let me see. Let me see what we got here. So this is from my book, Late Christmas. Let's go ahead and start coloring it in. I choose my favorite Tamar brush. I'm actually turn reference on this one. So if I go here, yeah, I should be able to just drag and drop first. Oops, wrong place. Huh. I thought I had, I don't know, Procreate has been kind of fidgety these days. It freezes on me a little bit. So I'm gonna just fill this in just to have a plastic layer on there. Let me see if I'm on the correct layer. Yeah, I am. I'm just gonna fill this in real quick like this first. And then I take my Tamar brush and apply textures on top of it. But this helps you to go through it real quick first, just to have a base layer that you want to work on top of. And this is going to be the same because this is going to be the most highlighted layer of the green. So if you look closely, this is not the green that you want. Oops, wrong place. This is not the green that I want my tree to look like, but I just want to have this layer down as a base layer to begin with. And I'm going to show you what I want to do after I put these colors down. It's going to be a flat color all through to begin with. So this is just paint bucket. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and hide this layer which has the entire coloring page on it. And I'm going to go in here. You can actually alpha lock this layer. So if you're coloring outside the color, it won't go on it. So that means that if I choose to color on top of this, it will go only where I have color in the layer underneath it. That's alpha locking that color. I'm going to go ahead and take the alpha lock off. And I'll go ahead and get a darker color now. The same green but a little bit darker hue. And I'll create another layer on top of that. And I'm gonna start to go in with darks around these smaller lights. So I'm gonna bring my favorite brush, which is the Tamar brush. That's too small. I want it a little bit bigger, like so. And I'm gonna go in here like so. I'm not worried about the lights at all for now, for starters, because I'll deal with those ones on a separate layer and they'll have their own different color. But here's what I want, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring my eraser. I want these ones to stay on top, like so. And I'll bring my smudge tool. And smudge it in a little bit like that. So eraser, take that one out. Usually at the beginning of these, it's it's hard to know where you're going with it. You just have to keep at it. Alright, so I'm gonna bring the smudge tool. Oh, I need the smudge. That was too blunt. I want it smudged a little bit. Alright, so I'm gonna do that same thing going down, but it's gonna get darker as we go down. So this is gonna be a little bit darker. Erase out of these heads, because actually this point is going to be the lightest of the entire tree. Like this curvature here is going to be the lightest. Smudge tool. Smudge this back up a little bit. Push it back up a little bit. Like so. And now the one next is going to be even darker. So there's a lot of tools that you could use when coloring digitally, but I prefer staying with a brush just like this, so I can go on top of it, just so I can get the concept of painting like you would on traditional materials. I need the smudge. There we go. Eraser. Push it back a little bit. Smudge tool. So this, I'm gonna keep going back and forth between the smudge tool, the eraser, and the brush, of course, the Tamar brush, which is my favorite brush. And now we're gonna go even darker. Sometimes I paint with the eraser itself. And usually at the beginning of an artwork, just like traditional painting, you're not going to see much. You really are not going to see much. And you keep working on it. So now, we're starting to have our base colors down. And now I'm going to go in with a lighter color. So I'm going to choose this green. This is our top colors. Top, long, and move. It's a color peak. So I'm going to go and create another layer on top of it. And this is going to be a lot lighter. Usually here I can even try to mix in a different color. So we're going to go with a lot lighter now. Oh, the Tamara brush is too big. So we're going to put it down a little bit. I like the Tamara brush because it has a little bit of texture to it. Like so. So that's the look we're trying to go for here. And if you're using Gen 2 pencil, it's actually pressure sensitive. The more you press down on it, is the more vivid the color is. Just a little dab. And on this side, I'm going to make it even more bluish. And I'm going to reduce this a little bit, the size of the brush. That's too bright. Alright, so our tree is starting to come out a little bit better. I'm starting to like it a lot more. I'll go over here, color this in. So now at least we have the best colors down. Let me pick that same color and get it a little darker to add a little bit even more dimension to it. In some places. Because it's a tree, it cannot be uniform. It's a natural tree. Let me see what there. So a little bit of goldish color, a little up on the yellow hue. I'm going to make all of them uniform, as in the same color. That's the relaxing part about it, is the repeated motions that you keep doing. Well, of course, if you're digitally coloring it, if you're using traditional methods, oops. Oh, I actually like that. But no, we're not going to go with that. I have something in mind where I'm going to go bring a substance brush, and then I'll go underneath this and I'll put more illumination to these. But for now, let me enjoy the relaxing nature of dragging this color in here. So the ones underneath from now on all the way down, I'm going to make them a little bit darker, like so. So when we finally put the illumination, it's going to be illuminating from top to bottom. That was so relaxing. So we're going to use the illumination effect. We have to go underneath this layer, add a new one. We're going to choose the color that we used for this. And I'm going to go up, make it a lot, almost white. And I need to choose a substance. There's a certain brush that I'm looking for. Elements, I believe. No. Materials. No, luminous. Exactly. This is what I'm looking for. So flare. So that's how we're going to start putting the glow on those lights. It's a lot of repetition, but we need it. And put it more towards the yellow. Now white. So that is giving a little bit of a shiny effect on those lights, and that's how you start to get the glow. And when I go finally on it, I could put it outside the original color on top of this. Oh, I can grab my favorite technical pen and I'll go on top of these like this. To make it even a better shiny effect. Like so. Now if you bring the luminous was recent flare and you make it smaller but with a high opacity, I can even use that in there like that, and it will give it the glow that you need for those. So that's the work we'll do on those. But for now, let me work on the big ones. I'll go ahead and choose the color red. I'll go on top of this layer. And tap our brush. That's kind of what I'm going for here. There we go. And if I may choose this color, go a lot brighter. Push it in there a little bit and smudge it just to make sure it's not too hard. It's the same thing I'm gonna do to this one. Oops.